Good morning. Today I'll be discussing some of the topics under Chapter 2 of Innovation Management. First is frugal innovation. What is frugal innovation? Navi Ranju and Jaidi Prabhu argued that it is more about the process of the complexity and cost of a good and its production. Usually this refers to removing non-essential features from a durable good such as a car or phone in order to sell it in developing countries. To understand it way more easier, let's say for example a phone. Samsung has different kinds of model when it comes to phones. There will be the higher range of phone, which is usually the Galaxy Note or the Samsung Galaxy S series. And not all the countries have the capability of purchasing high-end phones. So Samsung developed a different tier, which is the mid-range and low-range phones to capture those markets. And in order for them to create a phone on those tiers, they have to remove non-essential features or they have to downgrade some of the features in order for them to produce a much more affordable cell phone. So that is frugal innovation. Basically, it is removing non-essential features or downgrading non-essential features in order for them to sell a certain product in a much more affordable price. Innovation diffusion theories. Technological diffusion is the process by which innovations, whether they are new processes, or new management methods, spread within and across economies. Diffusion involves the initial adoption of a new technology by a firm, interfirm diffusion, and the subsequent diffusion of the innovation within the firm, which is intrafirm diffusion. The latter being the process by which the firm's old technologies and facilities are replaced by new ones. What is innovation diffusion theories? This tries to explain how an innovation is diffused in a social system over time. The adoption of an innovation is therefore a part of the wider diffusion process, such as theories tend to be more comprehensive relative to innovation diffusion theories. This is because they investigate the reasons for adoption and the aggregate level. To understand it more, uh, to understand it more, there are elements in which innovation diffusion theories can be explained. One is innovation, which is a broad category relative to the current knowledge of the analyzed unit. Any idea, practice, or object that is perceived as a new by an individual or other unit of adoption could be considered as an innovation available for studies. So, aside from that, other element is adopters. Adopters are the minimal unit of analysis in most studies. Adopters are individuals but can also be organizations, clusters with organization networks, or countries. A diffusion, by definition, takes place among people or organization. So communication channels are also one of the elements which allows the transfer of information from one unit to the another. Another element is time, which is necessary for innovations to be adopted. They are rarely adopted instantaneously. And the last one is the social system. Social system is a combination of external influences, which is mass media, surfactants, organizational or governmental mandates, and internal influences, which are strong and weak social relationship, distance from opinion leaders. So there are many roles in a social system, and their combination represents the total influences on a potential adopter. Everett Rogers is usually credited with introducing the concept of diffusion to the business. He later developed his work and applied it to new product innovations in the market and was able to illustrate different consumer categories on the basis of its relative time of adoption. Rogers in 1962 developed adapter categorization, which is based on a normal distribution curve that shows the adoption of an innovation over time on a frequency basis, which takes the form of an S when plotted on a cumulative basis. Indeed, the diffusion curve is much related to the concept of product life cycle, which shows the level of total sales over time. So this is the S curve of the cumulative adapters, which is categorized with innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, and laggards. In this model, it was classified in different adapter segments in terms of their standard deviation position from the time of adoption. So let's move on to beacon products. What is a beacon product? Research by Peng and Sanderson in 2014 on a digital MP3 players suggests that sometimes a specific product model has a great appeal to customers and sends a strong signal about what they want. So let's just say, for example, a beacon product is somewhat similar to a star product. Like for example, I've been in the pharmaceutical industry as a district sales manager. We have a certain product which generally is well known. So this certain product produces a great appeal to customers, and it represents the company on their vision as well. So crossing the chasm. What is a chasm? The chasm refers to the technology adoption life cycle or the transition from the early market into the mainstream eye. Crossing the chasm means opportunity for hypergrowth and market success. It's the leap from being a new, little known, and exploratory product to mass adoption and well known status. So, meaning to say, crossing the chasm basically means, for example, you have this certain product that you will be launching. Once it will cross the chasm, meaning it has the opportunity to sell more and to have market success. So basically, it explains from being a new to little known to exploratory product to becoming a product which has a well known status. Adopting new products and embracing change. Diffusion is essentially consumer willingness to embrace change, but change can be simple and complex. These range from change in perception to a significant change in required behavior in order to use the product. For example, dishwasher appliances require a significant shift in the way people behave in the kitchen and their approach to using cutlery and crockery. Similarly for iPods with regards to storing and collecting music. So meaning to say, uh, when we deal with diffusion, it's essentially the consumers needed to embrace the innovation or the change of a certain product or the development of a certain product. Consumers' reaction to innovative new products and their willingness to embrace them are also, of course, driven by the benefit they expect to derive from the products. For this continuous innovation, such products, which often involve new technologies, frequently require changes in thinking and behavior and hence require more from the consumer. Paradoxes of technological products. Mick and Fournier in 1998 present a typology of paradoxes of technological products. These are captured in the tables below. These paradoxes play an important role in shaping consumers' perception of innovation as well as determining their willingness to adapt to a new product. So this is the table. Paradox is control and chaos. The description will be technology can facilitate order and it can lead to disorder. Illustration. Imagine telephone answering machine can help messages but leads to disorder or order due to uncertainty about whether the message has been received. Paradox 2. Freedom and enslavement. Technology can provide independence and it can lead to dependence. The motor car clearly gives independence to the driver, but many drivers feel lost without it. So, we become independent by having our own vehicle, but becomes dependent on that technology as well. Meaning to say, if we, for example, lost the car, meaning to say, if we lost, someone lost the car, uh, it's going to be hard for them to adjust into commuting. New to obsolete. The user is provided with the latest scientific knowledge, but this is soon outmoded. This perfect example for this one is the computer games industry. So remember the times when family computer is really that big, and then all of a sudden it became obsolete or outdated because of the new technology. Efficiency and inefficiency. Technology can help reduce effort and time, but it can also lead to more effort and time. An illustration is that increased complexity in smart TVs has led to many wasting time in setting recordings. Fulfill needs, create needs. Technology can help fulfill needs and it can lead to more desires. Perfect illustration is the internet, which has satisfied the curiosity of many but has also stimulated many desires. So with a wide range of use of internet, we can actually you can actually get answers from from what we need, but also having that capability of the capability of accessing information in the specific span of time also creates needs, or it also gives us what do you call this, generally it gives us more desire. Assimilation isolation. Technology can facilitate human togetherness and can lead to human separation. Although email and social media helps us communicate, but in some cases for heavy users it can become isolated. Most of us right now spend time with our loved ones, but even when we are together, we are still using our cell phones. That's one perfect illustration of human separation. Engaging and disengaging. Technology can facilitate involvement, but it can also lead to disconnection. Uh, Based on my example earlier, it's similar to this one. Like, for example, we have a family or friend gathering. Yes, phones help us a lot when it comes to communicating to other people, but it also disengage us in connecting to the people who are with us because we tend to use our phones more often than to talk to that person when we are together. Market adoption theories. There is a considerable amount of confusion with regard to adoption and diffusion. This is due largely to difference in definition. Most researchers in the field, however, view adoption of innovation as a process through which individuals pass from awareness to the final decision to adopt or not adopt, whereas diffusion concerns the communication over time within a wider social system. The adoption research derived mainly from social psychological and focuses on the individual. This includes such models as a theory of reasoned action, or what we call TRA, the theory of planned behavior (TPB), and the technology acceptance model (TAM). The diffusion of innovation theory combines both adoption and wider societal issues derived from sociology, as previously mentioned. The study of how and why consumers purchase goods and services falls within the arena of consumer buyer behavior and is beyond the scope of this book. And that's all for my report. Thank you so much.